Hi guys, Pete here from Ashton's Cars, and today I'm taking you around our 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee. This is the 3-litre CRDI model. It's a limited model, that's the specification. Not that it's a limited run, because most of these tend to be limited spec. But the limited spec on these means you get all the leather, all the toys on them essentially. They're a really high spec car. I guess a little bit like a Range Rover Sport in that they are similar sized engine as well. But with the Jeep you get 215 horsepower, which gives it quite sprightly performance. And they're also really good off-road, these cars are. So I'll take you around this particular one that we've taken in. It's in metallic black. As you can see, it's in very good condition for its age. They are a very robust looking vehicle. Certainly a sort of thing you could probably draw with a pencil and a ruler. Very straight edges, very angular. That gives it a very sort of beefy look on the road, I would say. I think this one looks particularly nice in black. It does finish the car off quite well. The car obviously that you're looking at currently is 16 years old. So obviously there's a couple of very superficial age-related imperfections on the car. I'll just show you one of them while I'm here now, while I remember. If you look by here, very little bit of lacquer peel there on the bumper edge. That's very light. It's not really something that you're drawn to when you look at the car, but obviously if you look closely you can see that. A lot of people use these cars for towing. They have got a 3.5 ton towing capacity. That's pretty much the largest towing capacity of more or less anything really, similar to a Range Rover or a Land Rover Discovery 3 if you're looking at one of those. However, these are something of a bargain really. Compared to the Range Rover, certainly. It's a much cheaper car to buy, and actually I find a little bit cheaper to run as well. I've been getting about 25 to 30 to the gallon on this, 25 around town, 30 on a run, which is actually quite good. And with 215 horsepower on tap, it's actually quite sprightly. 0 to 60 takes a whisker over 8 seconds, so it's not going to worry any sort of hot hatch owners, but it's certainly way up there with a lot of sports saloons. So it's quite a high performance car for a 4x4. They always had a good spec on them, these cars, compared to anything else. I've always found Jeeps in general are very generous with the spec, and I'll just take you through some of the extras that this has got in just a minute. The main thing with the car is it is very solid. It's in good condition. It's recently had an MOT on it. All the tyres are very good. The wheels are in good condition, and overall, apart from that tiny little bit of lacquer peel that I showed you, it does look very visually appealing, and it certainly does not look its age. I mean, it's crying out for someone to put a private plate on it, I think, this car is, because it certainly does not look 16 years old in my opinion. Right, let's take you inside the vehicle quickly, and we'll start off right at the back. So, massive tailgate on it. It weighs a ton, this thing does. But there we are. We've got a massive boot on the car. Loads of space in here. These trays you can lift up. Everything weighs a ton on this thing. Everything feels very solid and built to last. But ultimately, it does all sort of come apart. Oh, I'll have to do that when I'm not on the phone because I need 2 hands to do it. It's got power outlets in the back though. It's got the parcel shelf, which of course most cars have, but by the time they're 16 years old, I tend to find these Jeeps have lost the parcel shelf. It's been stacked in someone's garage and forgotten about, so it's nice to see one where it's still intact. The main thing in here is that it's got loads of these anchor points on it. It makes it very practical for carrying things, and you can fold those seats forward to make it even more so. So there's loads and loads of space on it. Again, think of it as like a Range Rover Sport, and you're not far away in terms of size. Oh, I might be getting very weak today, or this is very heavy, but let's just push that as well, because I want to show you that you can open just the glass if you just want to throw your bags in, stack things up in it. Quite practical car. Now coming around to here, look in the back. Again, very light little bit of, we'll touch that in, but obviously it's very superficial, and a very superficial little mark by there as well. Again, 16-year-old car. I mean, I'm really picking holes in it, but it's in good condition overall. And the leather inside, again, very good condition. It's the perforated leather on it. It's got these original mats on it, really tough, really thick, hard wearing, you'll notice a theme here that everything's very heavy and thick and big, because it's a big strong Jeep, this car is. It means that's what it's designed to do. These have saved those original carpets. They look like new still, pretty much. Very good condition for the age of the car. I've got, if I can get this right, cup holders there, which pull out of the seats, which is very practical. I've got a nice big, cover the camera, sorry guys. Nice big armrest there for my extra comfort. I think that opens up. Yeah, it opens up and there's a little storage net inside. Look at that. How cool. Very, very, you know, well put together in all, to be honest with you, and well thought out. Plenty of room in here for anyone. You're going to easily take 5 adults in this car in comfort because it's very wide and very big and very strong. And of course, these seats tumble forward should you need extra space. Moving in to the front of the car. Well, it's very American. It's very big, but very, very luxurious. And, you know, you do feel like you're in something quite special in this car because you're elevated right up in the heavens driving it. It's got electric seats. If I'm going to be critical of it, there's a little bit of wear on this driver's one. It's not hold, it's just cracked. And you know, it's not horrendous by any means, but it is there. You notice it beeping away because I've got the key in it. That's because Americans are not that switched on, so they've got to obviously have the key in the ignition. They've got to have a beep to remind them to take the key out. Wood, it's not really, it's plastic, but it looks like wood. And it's got electric windows, it's got electric mirrors, they fold in as well. And these here are for the memory settings on those seats. All very useful and practical, you think? Well, it is. I've got cruise control. I've even got a sat-nav system and heated seats. Let's just jump in and have a proper look before that beeping completely does my head in. That's better. Right, so sat in here, it is a really nice place to be. All joking aside, I'm really sat up nice and high. You can see I'm parked next to a truck at the minute and I'm almost on level with them. Again, hate to draw comparisons, but if you've driven a Range Rover Sport, this will probably feel quite familiar because the driving position is very, very similar. You are not quite as upright as you are in a Range Rover Vogue. It's a little bit sportier feeling, but you are cocooned in leather, wood, or wood look stuff, and you feel very superior because we're up here in the heavens looking down on all the other measly road users. I've got cruise control. It's built into the steering wheel here, the switches. It's very easy to use, and I've got some pretty simple heating controls here as well. I like the layout of these. They're just nice simple dials like you get in a Range Rover. You'll notice that I've got separate controls for the passenger and the driver, and that's always very good. And also the aircon control is by there. Up here we've got some trip computer controls, which you don't really need to see, to be honest with you. It's quite boring. Built-in compass as well. And I've got a rather nice 6-disc CD stereo. This stereo of ours here has got quite a few modes on it. It's included a navigation system. I'll switch the car on quickly and show you the startup sequence, and then we'll see how that system works. If at this point the dashboard looks a little bit flickery, I will point out that's actually our recording equipment, not the actual dashboard. There is no flickering at all on those instruments. But you can see the mileage of 114,000 miles, so not really that high for the age of the car. Let's just zoom back out. And we can see we've got a stereo system here which I can push on and it'll proudly display that it is indeed a Jeep. Let's just turn that off a second. At least you can see it works though. We press navigation by here. The disc is not inserted. Typical, I forgot to do that. I've got the disc for it though, and I'll get the disc put in it for you. And we can just put it back to radio for now. It's old-fashioned because it's old. I mean, the car's 16 years old. It's obviously not the most state-of-the-art system. No, it hasn't got Apple CarPlay, and I'm not even sure, to be honest with you, if it's even got Bluetooth on it, this stereo. But it does play 6 discs at a time, and it has got a navigation system. So, I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it? I've also got parking sensors on it, and for those of you who don't know, Chrysler is actually part of Mercedes-Benz. So Mercedes-Benz are part of Chrysler. I don't know which way around it is, but it's all the same system. The engine in this car is actually a Mercedes engine, really. And if I put it into reverse, I have a reverse sensor built into the, if you look in my rear view mirror there, I don't know if you can see that. Let me just put this backwards. You can see on the roof line a little strip with light orange lights either side. That's my reversing sensors. And as I'm driving the car, they will get the bars will fill up with orange as it gets closer to stuff, and then it'll start beeping when it gets really close, and then it'll beep and flash in red when I'm really, really close, just before I hit stuff. Makes the car quite easy to drive, to be honest with you. On a practical note, I've got a 4-wheel drive system here. I can select a low ratio gearbox on it. The car is permanently 4-wheel drive, but there is a low ratio box on the car for some serious off-roading, and I can use like a Tiptronic manual to go up and down the gears if I wish to, and that does make this car very, very practical. And one of the things that you will love about these is they actually do perform as a real 4x4. This is a proper thing. It's got grab handles, look, both sides of it, and there's a good reason for that, because if you took this off-road, you could really hang on to that, and it'll take you where you need to go. So you'll run out of bravery before this car runs out of traction, that's for sure. I've got a trip computer there. You can probably see I've got 53 miles till empty. It's probably flickering a bit because of my recording equipment, but that's fine. Heated seats, you name it, I've got it in this car. I'm very comfortable. I'm very, very happy sat here. I give the engine a quick rev. It's a 6-cylinder, so it sounds pretty smooth. Yes, it's a diesel, so it hasn't got the thudding V8 that you get with the 5.7 Hemi version, but you don't want the 5.7 Hemi version because it only does 12 miles per gallon. This one is much more practical for everyday use. If, ladies and gentlemen, you are thinking of towing a caravan, towing a trailer with your race car on the back, towing your house, tow anything, this is one of the best tow cars around. That 3-litre diesel engine is absolutely amazing. It's very similar to the one that you get in the Mercedes ML. But again, this car I feel has got more to offer than the ML. I think it's a better looking car for a start. And it's actually cheaper to buy. If you're looking at Range Rovers, yeah, they're nice, but these tend to be less troublesome, and again, they are cheaper to buy. I suppose the Range Rover's fit and finish inside, you could argue, is a little bit nicer. It depends on what you want, really. This is typically an American vehicle, so yes, there is some, the wood is a bit suspect in there. It's definitely plastic, you know, but it does still look quite classy, in fairness. And this car at 16 years old has certainly stood the test of time really, really well. There's no doubt in my mind that this does not look like a 16-year-old vehicle, and it certainly doesn't look like something that we're going to be selling for less than £5 grand. I mean, it's quite an impressive looking beast. I noticed that some of these have real bad alloy wheel sort of lacquer peel on them on some of the Jeeps that I've seen advertised, and I just want to point out this one hasn't. The wheels are in really, really good condition on it, as is the chrome work. So it looks like it's been really well looked after, this car, as the aircon's blowing nice and cold in it. I actually bought this car in Cornwall, so I've driven from Cornwall to Wales in it. Performed absolutely beautiful. Motorway speeds, it just put the cruise on and you just relax in it. I think if you're in the market for a 4x4 that has got performance and ability, you're going to be hard pushed to find better. So my number, if you're interested in this car, is coming up for sale, is 07932 873 646. Obviously the tow bar obviously is on there from the previous owner, and we'll test that and check it when we do a workshop test on the car to make sure everything's working properly on it. It's ready to go if you need a tow vehicle, this is. Please give us a like, please give us a share, subscribe to our channel, and feel free to comment below and let me know what you think. Which one would you have? Would you pay a bit extra and have a Range Rover Sport? Would you potentially buy you know, the petrol engine version and just stomach the costs? I mean, I wouldn't. And I'm a real petrol head normally. Which would you buy in this class? I personally think, in terms of pure value for money, these are hard to beat. 07932 873 646. That's the number that you want to ring if you're interested in this car. They don't tend to hang around for long because they are a lot of car for the money. So give me a call if you're interested. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day today, and we shall see you soon.